Last year, like the rest of the world, Nigeria was immersed in a global response to the COVID-19 pandemic. This year, the pandemic still persists, evolving in ways that portend danger for our people here at home and all over the world. Two areas of particular concern are the issue of vaccine hesitancy and the international response to emerging variants in ways that seem to target the African continent. We have seen through years of scientific evidence that vaccines work. They have worked to combat yellow fever and measles and to end polio. At the height of the pandemic, we prayed for deliverance from the trap of this deadly disease. Vaccines are the answer to that prayer, and as leaders in our communities, we should encourage people to take advantage of the protection offered by science to prevent illness and death. The troubling reality of financial hardship for many Nigerians requires that government continues to invest in infrastructure and education and diversify our economy from a dangerous over-reliance on fossil fuels. Last year, the House of Representatives initiated a long overdue effort to reform the statutory framework for public health emergency response in our country, the Infectious Disease Control Bill. At that time, our good faith efforts were willfully mischaracterized by individuals who saw the moment as an opportunity to score cheap political points and earn the passing accolades of the ignorant and misinformed. Today, the whole world is grappling with the issues we sought to identify and address at that time. This year, the House of Representatives took particular interest in strategic reforms to improve the national security architecture in our country. We passed meaningful legislation such as the Police Service Commission Repeal and Reenactment Act. At the same time, we are taking expedited action on proposals to amend the Armed Forces Act, the Police Act, and the enabling statutes of the National Security and Civil Defense Corps and the Nigerian Customs Service. With these reforms, our intention is to address structural inadequacies of our internal security system that have left us dangerously exposed. By the time we resume next year, we will be closer to the end of our tenures, with national elections rapidly approaching. In the past, election years have witnessed a decline in government activities as political pursuits cloud the calendar. That will not be the case this time around. As you are aware, we have a legislative agenda in this 9th House of Representatives, which we tagged our contract with Nigerians. I expect that we will do everything within our power to keep the commitments we made in that document. This year, despite the differences of opinions, all of us in the House of Representatives, and indeed the entire National Assembly, worked to pass the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. We included in that bill provisions we hoped will significantly enhance the conduct of our national elections and improve public confidence in our electoral outcomes. As it is now, that bill has not received presidential assent, and it falls to Parliament to decide the best way forward. When we return in the new year, we will resume our efforts to reform the electoral system in our country, and we will do it together. That is what the Nigerian people expect of us, and we will do our duty for God and country. Honorable colleagues, I wish at this time to pay special tribute to the men and women who serve our country in uniform. I speak of those our fellow citizens who serve in the armed forces and at significant cost to themselves and their families. Take action every day to protect our country. I honor their service and sacrifice, and I ask you to join me in doing the same. I also celebrate all Nigerians who, despite challenges, still believe in the promise of Nigeria, and who, acting in that belief, continue investing in Nigeria and innovating here. I want to assure you that you have the gratitude of the 9th House, and more importantly, our support in every way required.